Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, I'm continuing my series I did long ago called Ranking My 100 Favorite Albums of All Time. And I am now at number 14 on my list. And number 14 on my list is 25 by Adele, which came out in 2015. Huge album for her. Coming right off of 21, which was a huge album for her. And I already talked about in my top 20. So Adele has two albums in my top 20 favorite albums of all time. Tell you how much of a fan I am of Adele and her voice. So yeah, stay tuned and see my thoughts here on Jason, the Old Millennial. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well here on a Friday night. Yeah, Friday kind of late evening for me. And I feel like I haven't done a video like this in a long time. I've been doing mostly collaboration videos with some of my friends, which I always love doing those. And but I need to get back to some of these ranking videos that I love to do. Try to finish some of these lists that I'm doing. This is the list I've been doing for the longest time. I feel like my channel is almost, well, it's 2.5, probably at least 2.5 years old. And I feel like I started this about 2.5 years ago, at least 2 years ago. I started doing this, ranking my 100 favorite albums. And it's just, I want to do it once a week, but then sometimes I go a week and I have other projects I want to work on, other collaborations. And then, of course, it's hard to fit too much around, work and other stuff that I do. So, yeah, I definitely want to get through this list. I want to get through it at the end of this year, but as we're in December, I don't have too much long to go. So I probably won't finish it this year, but definitely finish it next year, as I'm getting pretty close. I'm number 14, but yeah, I'm back talking about Adele. And this is her album 25, coming right after 21. And obviously, if you know her, she only has 4 albums. All 4 albums are a number, which are it's the age that she was when she made the album. I think it's kind of the idea behind it. Starting with 19, then 21, this is 25. So she's about 25 years old. This is back 2015 when it came out. And then her last album just came out a year ago, I think. And that was called 30, though she was actually 33 when it came out for some reason. I don't know, 30 was a better number, I guess she thought. So it's interesting. I love the way she titles them. It makes you know where she is in her life at that time. I just wish she made more than 4 albums in, 15 years or whatever she's started making albums. Like come on, we need more Adele. I'm a huge fan. She's one of probably my favorite. It's hard between her and Celine Dion. I think are my 2 favorite female singers of all time. I think both are absolutely amazing singers. Somewhat different. I love Adele because she's more alto. I think she can. As Celine Dion's more soprano, I would say, of a singer, where she hits these really high notes a lot of times and more high. Adele can stay kind of in a more lower registry and still sound amazing, and just has so much power in her voice. And she can, of course, obviously belt out the big notes, and she can, go a little high, but not as high as like Celine Dion. She didn't hit those notes, but she still hits some amazing notes that I just don't hear other singers, even really good singers, hit. And just she has such amazing power, and it feels so effortlessly. Like she does it instantaneously, and it's like, wow, it's like she doesn't have to try. She just has that much vocal power and that much talent in her overall anyways. But yeah, pretty simple CD overall. So far, I see all of her CDs are basically a picture of her face. I'll even look at number 21. I got 21 back here. Getting a picture of her face with a hand in there. This is just a close-up, kind of the same face. So not much difference there. And it's always black and white, kind of. It looks like her style. Anyways, beginning the album, 25. If you remember back in 2015, which, wow, 2015, it was that long ago. That's like almost 9 years ago now. This album was huge. And I think a lot of it was because 21 was huge. When 21 came out, of course, it won the big Grammys, Album of the Year, Song of the Year for Rolling in the Deep. And it broke like records selling wise. Like it sold so many records. It was just a monster album. And it's like, okay, how do you follow that up? Well, you follow up with this album, which I like a little bit more than 21. Most people, I think, would say 21's the better album. I actually like this one just a little bit more. Very close. They're both very, very good. And I would say both are like perfect albums. I'd give them both like 10 out of 10, to be honest. There's not a bad song really on either album, I think, and a lot of that's because of her vocals. Um, so of course, when you just come off of the one of the best-selling albums of all time, and you come out with another album, of course, people are interested. You're gonna sell pretty good. I always find that the album after the big album always sells almost even better and does incredible, just because everybody's anticipating that next album. And then that was the same. And it's like, wow, how can you? She follows 21 with another just absolutely amazing, stellar album. Uh, Kind of similar to that one, just showcasing her voice in these more pop ballad type songs, which she really does really good job with. So this is her third studio album overall. Um, there's 4 singles coming off this album, though there's one song in here that I feel like was on the radio quite a bit that I don't see on here, but obviously the big one was Hello. Hello was absolutely humongous. It was #1 in both US and UK. And I'll get to it. Also won the Grammy for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. And this won Album of the Year. I think she's like the only person that I can recall that has won the big 3 twice. Like nobody's done that. To win Album, Song, and Record of the Year twice. I mean, that's a pretty hard thing to do, and she did it. Say how great I think she is and how well she's done. But yeah, Hello. I remember the first time hearing that song, and it just blew me away. And I mean, she starts with that hello. I love how she starts. Does such a good job of starting softly and building up to a crescendo. Because then when she gets to that chorus and hello from the other side, and she's belting it out, and you're just like, oh wow, that is incredible voice. I love how when she belts out choruses, it's just nobody can do it better than her, in my opinion. And that was just one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. I was like, wow, this is even better than what she did before. And I loved her other stuff. But yeah, huge hit there. Also, When We Were Young, went #14 in the US and #9 in the UK. Another pretty big hit. Another one of my favorite Adele songs of all time. Another absolutely, if you haven't heard it, man, it's so good. I watch YouTube videos of her singing this song so many times. Like, just not too long ago, I was watching people react to her singing because I love reaction videos. I love people being amazed by her singing. And When We Were Young is another one where when she gets that chorus, it's just like, holy cow, she goes another level and she's belting it out. And you're just like, man, just pure gold, her voice. Absolutely love that song. Send My Love to Your New Lover went #5 in the UK, #8 in the US. Another really good song, another hit song on the radio. I remember being on the radio quite a bit. Like I said, a lot of radio hits on here, really. Or I say a lot, about 4 pretty good radio hits on here that I remember hearing on the radio. It's a little more faster paced and catchier type pop song. Still a very good song. I really enjoyed. Doesn't belt it out quite as much as the other ones, but I think it's nice to balance out your big ballad belters with some more catchy pop songs. I think it's a really good idea. And the last one is Water Under the Bridge, which went #26 in the US, #29 in the UK. And I don't remember this song being a big hit or anything. I don't remember being on the radio all that much. The song I remember being on the radio quite a bit was Remedy, I think was on the radio as well. Maybe unless I'm thinking of something else. I feel like that was another song that's really good. One of my favorite on the album that I feel like I heard in the radio anyways. But yeah, so definitely got the radio play. Everybody was talking about this album, of course, when it came out. Obviously went #1 in both the US and UK. #1 album sold in 2015, so it was the best-selling album of that year, 2015. Sold over 17 million. I mean, just incredible numbers. Reached diamond status, making her the only artist to do it twice in the last decade. Like I said, with 21 and 25, only person to do that, to reach diamond status, which is pretty hard to do. It's the 4th best-selling album in the 21st century. So in the last, 23 years or so that's been out. It's the 4th best-selling album. Second best-selling album of the last decade, following 21. So only beaten by her last album, 21. So 21 and 25 are the 2 best-selling albums of the last decade, which is, I think they're talking about the 2010s or whatever, maybe that decade, and maybe even further on. So her 2 albums best-selling, pretty good. Yeah, and like I said, won a bunch of Grammys, huge hit and all that. But yeah, I can't, some people, I'm going to talk about Adele. A lot of times, people do YouTube channels, they just want to talk about classic rock bands and artists, from the 60s, 70s period, maybe 80s, and don't go beyond into the 90s or 2000s. And this is 2015. So I say, man, don't limit yourself to just the 60s and 70s or the 80s. There's good music, I think, even though I don't listen to a lot of music nowadays, there's still some really good music in the last, decade or so. And I say definitely give it a try if you haven't. And there's some people like my friend Nick, who's not an Adele fan necessarily, I don't think, but I'm like, man, how can you not like someone who sings great vocals and belt them out? Like, I guess it's not your style, but man, I don't know how it can't be anybody's style. Like, I love rock music. I love Led Zeppelin, I love Queen, all of the Who, but then I still love stuff like this, like Adele and Celine Dion and Whitney Houston. Like, I have room for everybody. If you can sing, I'm interested. If you can come up with some really good songs, of course. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check out 25, number 14 on my list. So I'll get to my top 3 favorite songs, which, like I said, pretty much all the songs are really good on here. One that didn't make it into my top 3, Remedy, great song. And Send My Love to Your New Lover didn't make my top 3, but very good, catchy song, I would say. But yeah, so number 3, I'm gonna go with a song called Million Years Ago. It's not, as I said, it's more of a deep cut song, I guess, a hidden gem song. Man, it's so good. Again, it's more of that, her voice is just so good, and it's not really belting it out either. It's, but yeah, it's still showcasing how well she sounds. And it's, again, another kind of, ballad type song. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Number 2, I'm going with When We Were Young. Like I said, I just love that song. It's my second favorite. I put this album in front of 21 because the top 2 favorite songs on this album are my top 2 favorite Adele songs. So I had to put this a little bit above 21. 21, has Someone Like You and Rolling the Deep, which are really good. But When We Were Young, I like even more than those songs. Again, I love when she gets into that chorus, and just goes off on the, which I'm trying to think of the chorus in my mind, but I just know it's just amazing. And overall, just a great music, great musicianship. Just a beautiful song, really, just beautifully written, piano, the bass sounds great on it, I think. Great background singers as well, some background singers come in as well, and yeah, it's like you're in a church gospel choir or something. It's amazing. And then we get to number 1, which is, of course, Hello. It's my favorite Adele song, one of my favorite songs of all time, probably my favorite song maybe of the last decade or so. Again, when she starts with that, beginning with just the hello, ba-bum, 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 bum. It's just very low registry, and then she gets into that chorus, hello from the other side. And, oh man, it's just, when it hits you, man, it's just, nothing beats it when that chorus hits you, and her voice. But yeah, it's just an amazing powerhouse song that she just, don't know if she'll ever top it. I wish she would make more albums, and so we can see more. She made the 30 album was last year, and that album wasn't very good, though it had one really good song on it, Easy on Me, or Take It Easy on Me, whatever. It was a really good song off the album, but nothing else really kind of comes close to these 2 albums, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's my review of the number 14th favorite album on my list, and that is 25 by Adele. And so feel free to comment. Are you an Adele fan? Do you have this album? Like I said, it sold a lot of records, so hopefully someone out there has this album. I know Briar has this album, so he'll back me up on it. But yeah, feel free to tell me what's your favorite song on it. What do you think? Would it be on your list, or if it would be on your list at all? Yeah, I love to read any of those comments. Appreciate anybody that comments on my videos. And also appreciate anybody who likes the videos, and I appreciate anybody who just watches the videos. I enjoy making these, and I just make them for fun. Hope you guys enjoy what I'm gonna have to say, and I appreciate all the subscribers. I got 248, I think, last time I checked, so I'm close to 250, which would be kind of a cool number. Nice to get that round number there at some point. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and I hope you all have a great